Good morning, YouTube. It is the live portion, of course, of Uncle Pete in the morning. And, well, this is, I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's really cranked up on in there. So let's see if we can really crank that down just a little bit here. I know that's loud this morning for you all. It is a 7:01 here on 216 the net, 216thenet.com. And this is a little bit of a different kind of Monday, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what, boy, really just, I had thought a lot. I had thought a whole lot about what I might want to say, what I might want to do here this morning on old Uncle Pete in the morning. 216 the net, 216thenet.com. And, I don't know that this is actually working out on the Facebook live feed. So, guys, you may have to just join us over on the other deal. It seems like this one just isn't working out. A lot of things aren't really working out, are they, folks? This has been quite the morning. Let me go check on something here real quick before I just say, hey, gotta ditch all that in the dirt. And no, well, I can see myself, so perhaps we're gonna go ahead and keep rolling with that there. Maybe you guys will enjoy the morning. I gotta tell you, I'm rambling here because even though I had thought long and hard about maybe what I might say today here on 216 the net, 8 in the morning, maybe I'm just not. I can't tell you how phenomenally, and I don't want to be, but I am phenomenally disappointed in the world here at large today. The bait was served up on a silver platter, and the United States took it. Everybody who is participating across the board, and it does. And I'm not saying people don't have a right to be unhappy, angry, mad, furious, even. But even those who are doing posts that are, kind of the virtue signaling kind of thing, none of you get it. Not at all. No one across the entire board gets it. One guy did. And, Mary Catherine thought while she was putting the list together today that she thought, well, rather than, because this has been such a series of bad days, maybe we just have a happy Monday. And this is one that she put in, and I decided to move it right to the top here for the top of the 7 o'clock hour. So maybe this will impress some of you, make an impression, maybe make a reminder, give you a reminder, a little pause for thought. Because I don't think I'm the only one that would be phenomenally disappointed in so many people today.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?
Please won't you be my neighbor? That's an interesting thought to start this morning off here. Wow. Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Look outside. It's a little cloudy out there this morning. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Sun shining. I did a little yard work yesterday. But a big number of the rest of you just decided to burn it all down to the ground. Uh, you know, I get it to a point. You're mad, you're angry, but every single one of out of you out there took that bait. They served it on a beautiful, beautiful china platter, gave you gold and silverware, and you ate that bake like the best cake you'd ever been served.
Your blood like winter freezes just like ice. There's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this fool could never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could have hoped to win. You're starting down the road, leaving me again. The threat made were meant to cut me down. And if our love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. No, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing better all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 I'm still standing,
Well, over the last several days and this last weekend, there's a lot of people who are still standing, a lot who are not. A lot of people who are still coming to work today on Monday. A lot of people who are not. You know, this is something else, folks. Uncle Pete is. I'm talking about myself in the third person here. I'm choosing my words very carefully because obviously words are important to so many people out there. And so many people, like I said a few moments ago, so many people have eaten the bait that you were served. It's truly disappointing, not surprising. It's disappointing. I had hoped for better. I had hoped for something a lot more than what has been offered up. A lot of people are not standing today. A lot of people are not at work today. The bait that was taken, everybody consumed, from virtue signaling on Facebook posts all the way to burning the shit down. And you know, a lot of people are furious and they're sad and they're miserable about what has all caused this. And you're right to be sad. You're right to be miserable. You're right to be angry. but you're still taking the bait. Nothing ever was. All of the conditions over the last several months, as many of you are not going to agree with me on this, because what I'm about to say is going to bother a lot of people. And the opinions of Uncle Pete are his own, don't reflect the folks here that partner with 216 who are amazing people. But none of this was about a virus. None of this. Listen to me carefully, please. None of this was about racism. We know that that exists, and it's ours to work on. It's ours to own and deal with, and it is ours to figure this out. We have a race. It's called the human race. I could not give two shits what color you are. I am a ginger. Underneath these freckles, I am the whitest of the white physically in my genetic makeup. I was born this way. Every single one of you were born the way you are. You didn't choose it. Not consciously as we know it. Maybe in some existential plane you did. Maybe mentally, spiritually, there's something to be learned there. None of this is about religion. And if you think that this hasn't been, conservatism was founded, this country, all the conservatives that are out there, this country was founded on puritanical beliefs. So think about that, folks. Think about that before you take another bite. Think long and think hard. And I'm going to encourage you to think about this.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy.
Love this guy.
In every life we have some trouble.
Bobby McFerrin.
When you worry, you
amazing
make it
fellow.
double. Don't worry. Be happy.
Think back to this video.
Be happy now.
Robin Williams, Bobby McFerrin. I can't remember the name of the other guy. Three dudes just hanging out, being silly together. Their skins were different colors. They didn't give. They didn't give a. I want to swear. I want to cuss. A lot of folks who listen to 216 Net early in the morning feel like a little bit too much language early in the morning. It's a little just too much. I respect that.
The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry. Be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry. Be happy. I give you my phone number. When you worry, call me. I make you happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no gal to make you smile. But don't worry. Be happy. Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Now this song I wrote. I hope you learned it note for note like good little children. Don't worry. Be happy. Listen to what I say. In your life, expect some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't do it. Be happy. Put a smile on your face. Don't bring everybody down like this. Don't worry. It will soon pass, whatever it is. Don't worry, be happy.
And don't think for a second that I am pulling a little Pollyanna here over the last weekend, last several days, the last week, the last several months. This year. No, not at all. The thing is, and what I, again, Mary Catherine, she's like, wow, this weekend, she was working on the list last night. She said, this has been too much. She's like, how about we just make it a very light list tomorrow? It would just let people be happy. Make this just sort of an uplifting list was her goal, her objective. And I said, you know what? Sure, that's fine. Because, of course, she works on the list they're generally based all on your requests. Now, actually, it's funny because all this stuff that's here, you guys have actually requested at one time or another. But, this is not a Pollyanna response. What I'd like to encourage you guys to do is to think for yourselves. Because, again, I've said this, I'm going to say it again every time in between songs. 100% of the country has been served up bait on a china plate with gold silverware. And so incredibly many of you have eaten that bait cake up just as fast as you can. All of this that's been going on since the beginning of the year, all the way through right now, is 100% about behavior. Some of you out there have posted and you've talked about the root of the problem. You use the analogy of trees and getting down to the root, not just treating the symptom, but looking for the cause. That's interesting. And that's a good point to make. But none of you talked about who's planting the seeds. None of you talked about anything other than the one tree and the roots. None of you talked about the seeds and backing up and taking a look at the forest that you're in, if you want to continue the analogy. None of you talked about getting up, out, and above it all and taking a look from the highest point down to see why the forest is the way it is, who's planting the forest, who's cultivating that forest, who's taking care of the forest. You guys can extrapolate through this analogy as much as you want. I'm disappointed that the country is still at a point where it's going to eat that baked cake like it is the most incredible dessert it's ever been served. I'm not surprised. I'm just, Uncle Pete is thoroughly disappointed, folks. You did it. You took that bait, you ate it up on all sides, every single side. Again, from virtue signal posts to burning the shit down. You guys just did. You took it instead of thinking, instead of considering, instead of deciding and making a choice. You've all made choices. I don't know that they were good ones. You've all made choices. You get choices to make.
It might seem crazy
roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Yeah. Well, give me all you got, don't hold it back. Yeah. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, hey, hey. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Come on. Now, again, happy from Pharrell Williams. That's a fun freaking song. And in the moment, you can be happy. In the moment, you can clap along. And again, I'm not saying, and I'm not discounting any anger, frustration, sadness, fury that anyone out there is feeling. And I'm not discounting those of you who are empathizing, those of you who may even sympathize, those of you who are, really trying your best to understand. What I am saying is you've all, and this again, every single time in between these songs, I've said, because the way the world is, because the way the world is something else, because none of you are looking at who is cultivating the forest that you are in, that you're part of. You're all just eating the bait. You're eating the plant food. None of you are looking at who's laying those seeds. And that is what disappoints me. That is what bothers me truly. And I would encourage you all, just take a breath for a moment. In this moment, when we're playing a few songs that are super light, again, because Mary Catherine, good old Uncle Pete's wife, just wanted people to just take a pause and smile this morning. And Carla Ann, how are you out there? When did I start broadcasting? Well, I went live just a little after 7 o'clock this morning here on Facebook Live. Uncle Pete in the morning on 216thenet, 216thenet.com is 6 to 8 Monday through Thursday, 6 to 7 on Fridays. So thanks for tuning in, listening. Hey, Mary, how you doing? This is not a Pollyanna approach this morning. This is just wanting everybody to take a moment, listen to something, think about it, smile. That's all I'm asking you to do. Because every single one of you has taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker, whatever analogy I can possibly use. You've eaten that bait cake. You've eaten that bait on a hook, whatever it is. You took it all the way from, the virtue signalers in your posts to people who are just burning the shit to the ground. People who are just, I get it. I know I've been telling you, ask people who know me. I've been saying stuff like this is coming for a long, long time. But why? Think about that. Think about the why of that. Think about the seeds that are being planted. Or just think about this for a minute or two, would you?
He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found the key for every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away, on the road, hanging by a song. But the string's already broken, and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast, and it don't last so long. The Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. The shadow from the starlight is softer than a lullaby. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. He climbed Cathedral Mountain, he saw silver clouds below. He saw everything as far as you can see. And they say that he got crazy once, and he tried to touch the sun, and he lost a friend but kept a memory. Now he walks in quiet solitude, the forests and the streams, seeking grace in every step he takes. His side is turned inside himself to try and understand the serenity of a clear blue mountain lake. In the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Talk to God and listen to the casual reply. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High.
Good morning, Wendy Munson.
Now his life is full of wonder,
Who is my mom?
but his heart still knows some fear of a simple thing he cannot comprehend. While they try to tear the mountains down to bring in a couple more people, more scars upon the land. In the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Though he'd be a poor man if he never saw an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High. Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain fire in the sky. Friends around the campfire and everybody's high. Rocky Mountain 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 High.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. I almost moved to long ago, many years ago, before I met the wonderful, amazing Mary Catherine, Uncle Pete's wife. Almost decided I was done with society, done with humanity, done with all of it. Frankly, all of you out there, and was going to move to a cabin over on Pikes Peak. As a matter of fact, a little portion of Pikes Peak. Get a dog, eat nuts and berries. At the very moment, that really is not sounding like a horrible idea again. Of course, I've got the dogs. I've got Mary Catherine. She's actually expressed interest in moving to a place where there are no neighbors. It's been a hell of a week, a hell of a weekend, folks. Really, all I would please ask you to do is, before you make that next post, before something out on Twitter or Facebook, whatever it might be, before you take to the street again with pitchforks and torches and bricks and whatever it might be. A lot of people were left beaten, bruised, some dead over the weekend. Before you do that next thing, think about it. Think about, is this really what I want to do? Why do I want to do this? Would I have done this if I had not eaten that big, gorgeous, luscious, rich, flavorful piece of baked cake that was put before me? Instead of saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Shaking a hand. Oh, but you can't shake a hand. Can't go near one another. Not now. But of course, evidently, the virus took a break for the riots that we've had. I'm not going to call them anything other than that. It is what it is. You need to look at it for what it really truly is. If it's peaceful, I'll call it the other thing. When it's not peaceful, it's a riot. You guys know that. Everybody out there knows that. But just think, am I doing this for myself? Am I doing this for you? Am I doing this for my wife, my husband, my children, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister? Who are those people? Why am I about to do what I'm about to do? And be honest with yourself, because no one else matters as far as that goes. Because if you're lying to yourself, if you are just following the crowd, following the herd. And now we see the sheep herders coming out. You know what I'm talking about. Sheep herders are being dispatched to your city, and they will put those sheep back in the pen. You guys know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. Think about this. Behaviors, net results. Think about that. Think about that. Because this very day could be, if a lot of people think long and hard about why they're doing what they're doing, this could be.
And he smiled at me. on, just wait and see. Jumped out of bed and I ran outside, feeling so extra ecstatic. It's the best day ever.
Best day ever.
It's the best day
It could be if you make it that.
I'm so
Choice is
busy,
all
got
yours.
nothing to do.
Every single one of you has
Spent
that
the last
power.
2 hours
And you
just
don't
tying
know
my
it.
shoe. Every flower, every grain of sand is reaching out to shake my hand. It's the best day ever. It's the best day ever. Sometimes the little things start closing in on me. When I'm feeling down, I wanna lose that frown. I stick my head out the window and I look around. Those clouds don't scare me, they can't disguise
Clouds are out there, folks.
this magic that's happening right before my eyes.
What are you really seeing?
Soon Mr. Moon will be shining bright, so the best day ever can last all night. Yeah, the best day ever's gonna last all night now. It's the best day ever. It's the best day ever. It's the best day ever. It's the best day ever.
Is it? It could be. For an enormous amount of people, the last week has been full of the worst days ever. People who are bruised, beaten, their livelihoods burnt to the ground. People who were killed. That's a pretty bad freaking day. And really, you just can't get worse than that. Is being you can't get worse than being killed. That's a pretty bad freaking day. But every single one of you just don't seem to get it. You've got the power. I don't give two rats' asses what color you are. Underneath all these freckles, I'm a friggin' ginger. I'm the whitest of the white. And it doesn't freaking matter. And none of you freaking get that. And I'm not surprised. I'm just so disappointed. And it sucks. But again, you've got the power to decide your day every day. You have that. And when you let someone else take that away from you, you're giving it to them.
Hello world, hear the song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy. Dream we go traveling together. We'll spread a little love and then we'll keep moving on. Something always happens whenever we're together. We get a happy feeling when we're singing a song. Traveling along, there's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy.
Oh, we'll make you happy. Would that I could make you all happy. Facebook Live group that's been hanging out with me this morning. I think maybe I'm going to end it right there. I'm going to keep, of course, the party going all the way till 8 o'clock this morning over on the YouTube Live channel. And, of course, you can always find Uncle Pete in the mornings to 8 Monday through Thursday, 216thenet, 216thenet.com, or you can open a new tab, click Listen Live, hang out the rest of the morning. Rest of the morning is nothing but happy, happy, happy songs. It really isn't. Mary Catherine just didn't have it in her to do a headbanging Monday, or after the number of days we've had this weekend, she really just thought, man, everybody just we need a lighter morning. I'm just going to implore you one last time: think for yourselves, please. Think for yourselves. Think about everything you do. Take a breath if you can. I know it's hard to do when you are angry, when you're furious, when you feel like there's no one listening anymore at all. It is hard to summon all of the emotional intelligence you have and take a breath. Pause for a moment and think about what you're about to do and who exactly that benefits, who it makes feel better. Just you. Again, your wife or husband, your significant other, doesn't matter. I don't care who or what your significant other is. It makes no difference at all. It doesn't. You know it doesn't. It doesn't make any difference. If it's for your children, if it's for your mother, your father, your nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, everybody, just think about what you're about to do next and what you're about to do. How is that going to impact the world around you? What ripple is that going to send out? Who is going to be impacted by about what you are about to do, say, and what you're about to be next? Think about it, folks. Meanwhile, if you just want to smile for a little bit, come hang out with me over on the YouTube channel 216 The Net, or download that app, the 216 The Net app, or just go to 216thenet.com, open that other tab, click Listen Live, and have a good morning. We'll see you over there, Facebook folks. Everybody else, let's do this. Sorry, Wendy. Was that a little too preachy for you this morning? I really, though, all I want you to do is smile. That's really, truly what I wish for everybody out there. Just breathe a moment. Smile. Just a second. That's all. Oh, you guys could all be so wonderful if you just tried.
can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hand, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never was, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurting runs off my shoulders, how can I hurt when holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never was. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Sweet Caroline, I believe they never come. Sweet
If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you. You'll never know what went well, then again it just depends on how long the time is left for you. I've had the highest mountains, I've had the deepest rivers. You can have it all, but now keep moving. Take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? To hold it for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, tried to take the easy way out. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something. I take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? To hold it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world, Wake up, Mr. Robot now. Playing this I've been waiting to smile, to hold it in for a while, Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you take around. Get up now, get up, get up now. And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you take around. Get up now, get up, get up now. I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world. Wait for this for a while now. Get away my computer. I've been waiting this long, and I'm only here for a while. Take you everything I can. Get away when I dance with you. I'm on top of the world.
Love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face, now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. It seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Oh, then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Love was out to get me. Now that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Oh, then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yes, I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. I'm not a trace of doubt in my mind. Said I'm a believer. I'm a believer. Said I'm a believer. Yeah, I'm a believer. Said I'm a believer. Yeah, I'm a
believer. Happiness on a stick. I've been Uncle Pete all morning long here. What I want is for you guys to smile. Take a breath and smile. I've been, as Wendy pointed out over the Facebook live stream portion of the morning, I've been preaching. I got on my soapbox this morning, folks. Really, all I want you to do is take a breath, think for yourselves, your own thoughts, your own choices. Make those. And think about what you're about to do next. You've got the power. No one can take that away from you at all. Don't care where you are, who you are. No one can take away the power for you to decide what you're going to do next. You can't. It's impossible. But think about what you're about to do next and how is that going to affect you everyone you know and love and everyone you don't know and love. It's because what you do next matters to more than just you. It's going to impact somebody. Think about it. And that's all I'm going to leave you with this Monday morning. Hopefully you've had a happy Monday morning here on Uncle Pete, even though Uncle Pete got super preachy on you. Hopefully it wasn't too terrible. But we'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, at 216thenet, 216thenet.com.
Listen to this. I'm down on my daydream. Oh, that sleep walk should be over by now. I know. Yeah, yeah. You make my dreams come true. Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for you, girl. Oh, yeah. You make my dreams come true. Me, you, I'm waiting for you, girl. You make my dreams come true.
And that wraps up Monday morning with Uncle Pete in the Morning. YouTube folks, will see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me.